Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive with us.
Oh, it's great to be back.
Now, today we're doing something a little different.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of excited about this one.
Oh, me too.
We're diving into your memories.
Oh.
Well, not literally,
Okay.
but we've got a document called xyz.txt, and it's all about those childhood memories, those super vivid ones that we all have.
Right.
And this one is specifically about growing up in Kerala, India.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating about this isn't like a research paper or,
Right.
a textbook.
Yeah.
This is a personal account.
Oh, wow.
It's raw, it's funny,
Okay.
it's evocative,
I like it.
and it's all about childhood in Kerala, where the monsoon season basically dictates life.
You know, I grew up with completely different weather, but I'm already intrigued because I have a feeling those rainy day vibes are kind of universal, you know?
I think so too.
So what's the mission for today's deep dive?
I think what we're trying to uncover here is how do those early experiences with rain, those childhood memories, shape how we see life as adults,
Okay.
how we see the ups and downs,
Oh.
how we react to things.
Gotcha.
How do we deal with the good and the bad?
So it's not just about nostalgia.
No.
It's about the bigger picture of how these early sensory experiences shape us.
Absolutely.
I like it. Okay, so let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
The first section here is back to school. And I think we can all relate to this.
Oh, for sure.
You know, those new notebooks, the crisp new uniform, you're feeling good.
Yes.
But mixed with that dread that summer's over,
Uh-huh.
it's back to reality.
Right back to the grind.
And the author captures this perfectly.
Yeah.
They're standing there admiring their new uniform in the mirror,
Yes.
and then bam, mom's voice, like a record scratch in a movie.
Exactly. Snaps them back to reality.
It's brutal.
And then they compare themselves to a prisoner facing a firing squad.
I know. A little dramatic, maybe, but
A little bit.
I mean, you have to admire the honesty.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
It's very relatable.
So is this just teenage angst, or is there something deeper going on here?
I think it's more than just angst, you know?
All right.
It reveals that pressure to succeed,
Hmm.
that pressure that kids feel even at a young age.
Especially in a culture where competition is so fierce.
Yes, exactly.
Do you remember feeling that weight of expectation when you were a kid?
Oh, absolutely. And I think kids today probably feel it even more intensely.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me more about this reality check that the author's mom delivers.
So she starts talking about how even the kids who did well in school, the A students
Right.
are struggling to find jobs.
Oh, right.
And it's a subtle detail, but it's very telling.
Yeah.
It reveals a lot about the economic anxieties that kind of underlie those parental expectations.
So it's not just about pushing kids to be their best. It's about equipping them to survive
Exactly.
in a world that's pretty tough out there.
Right. It's about giving them the tools to succeed.
That makes a lot of sense.
And that brings us to the author's journey to school on results day.
Okay.
It's a rainy day, of course.
Of course.
New uniform, immediately soaked. They're feeling that chill, and then this mounting sense of dread about the exam results.
Oh, yeah.
That feeling of, oh no, what if I didn't do well?
We've all been there.
Haven't we all?
It's like hoping for the best but bracing for the worst.
Yeah.
It's like a mini version of how we approach challenges as adults.
It is. It's that microcosm of life.
And the author uses a brilliant analogy here.
They do.
They compare themselves to a cricketer scoring golden ducks.
Yes.
Which means like failing over and over again.
Exactly. Striking out every time.
It's like that self-deprecating humor that makes them so relatable.
Absolutely. It's that ability to laugh at yourself even when you're feeling the pressure.
So instead of glossing over those golden ducks, do you think the author is intentionally using humor to like deflect maybe deeper feelings about those results? Like disappointment or, maybe a fear of letting their parents down?
I think that's a really good point, and it makes you wonder how much of our adult humor is rooted in those early experiences.
Well, that's interesting.
Of trying to navigate tricky emotions,
Right.
Like, how do we deal with disappointment? How do we deal with fear?
So it's using humor as a shield.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so after this roller coaster of emotions, our author arrives home seeking comfort. But even that comes with its own set of challenges.
Right, because mom is waiting.
Oh, no.
She's ready with a mix of scolding,
Yeah.
getting soaked, of course, and a symphony of delicious comfort food.
Okay, I'm listening.
Fada, banana fry, paisam.
Hold on, wait. Payasam, isn't that a dessert?
It is.
So they're getting scolded while being offered dessert.
Like they
I don't
wouldn't.
understand this parenting tactic.
It might seem contradictory, but it speaks to this cultural element of food as care,
Okay.
especially in India.
Right.
It's like, I'm worried about you, but also here's something delicious to make you feel better.
That's fascinating. And it makes me think about how our own childhood experiences with food, those tastes and smells,
Yes.
how they become intertwined with our memories of being loved and comforted.
Absolutely. It's powerful stuff.
Okay, so back to our author. They're being showered with delicious food and scolding at the same time.
Right. The classic mom combo.
But there's this detail that I found really interesting.
Oh, what's that?
As a kid, they resented being forced to eat all the snacks.
Uh-huh.
But now as an adult, they long for that same level of care.
Oh, I love that.
It's like, Mom, please come back and make me eat all the snacks again.
Exactly.
I miss those days.
It really underscores how our perspective on our parents' actions evolves as we get older.
Yeah, when we're kids, we just want to play.
Right.
We don't want to eat all the snacks.
Exactly. We don't appreciate it.
But then as adults, we realize
We miss it.
we miss it.
Yeah.
Okay, so even with all this delicious food, our author is still not free to go play with friends.
No, they're stuck inside waiting for the rain to stop.
Oh, the classic waiting game.
The worst.
And then their friend arrives, happy as can be, eating ice cream in the pouring rain.
I love it.
This friend is either incredibly optimistic or completely oblivious.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Right. Or maybe they just really love ice cream.
That's true.
But it shows how differently people can experience the same situation.
Absolutely. What might seem miserable to one person is pure bliss to another.
Yeah. And they stay close friends despite this difference.
They do.
The author even admits to blindly supporting their friends' opinions on soccer players.
All thanks to some strategic chocolate sharing.
It's like generosity, even in small gestures,
Yes.
can have a lasting impact on relationships.
It really can.
Okay, so the rain finally lets up, and what does our author do?
They rally the troops.
Like a true leader,
Like a boss.
they're ready to play,
Yes.
despite some initial resistance from the others.
Of course.
It's that early development of agency.
Yes. Making decisions and taking action even when it's not the popular choice.
And they don't just play, they go all in.
Oh, they go hard.
Splashing, mudslinging.
I mean, they end up looking like rugby players rather than cricketers.
That image is so vivid, you can practically see them covered in mud.
I know, completely immersed in the moment.
And of course, this leads to a hilarious encounter with her dad.
Oh, yes! Dad sees them covered in mud and he exclaims, "Wow, my son is looking really great today."
And Mom's reaction.
Mom is not impressed. She launches into a lecture about the laundry and the extra work.
It's like the classic good cop, bad cop routine.
Absolutely. Dad with the lighthearted support, mom with the practical concerns.
And our author strategically stays silent
Smart move.
to avoid getting in trouble.
Yeah, fly under the radar.
But then Dad drops a Bob Marley quote,
He does.
which I have to say I did not see coming.
It's a little unexpected.
He tells the author to feel the rain, not just get wet.
Deep.
It seems a bit out of place in this context, don't you think?
It does seem a little random.
So is Dad just trying to be philosophical, or is there something more to it?
Maybe he's trying to impart a deeper lesson, about being present in the moment, embracing the experience rather than focusing on the consequences.
But instead of just accepting Dad's wisdom, I actually think that quote might reveal disconnect between the generations.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more.
Like Dad's coming from this idealistic place,
Okay.
but the author, even at a young age, is already grappling with those real-world anxieties that their mom voiced earlier.
That's a fascinating take. It suggests that even within a family, there can be these subtle but significant differences in perspective.
Yeah, and maybe that tension is something the author continues to grapple with as they grow older.
Absolutely. And as we move into the next part of their story, I want you to think about how those early experiences with rain or any other potent sensory memory from your own childhood have shaped your own approach to life's ups and downs.
Like those early experiences lay the foundation for how we handle things as adults.
Precisely. And as we delve into the author's adulthood, those memories of rainy days in Kerala take on new layers of meaning.
Okay, I'm officially hooked. This is where things get really interesting.
I know, right? Buckle up. So we're moving on from those carefree days of childhood, those simple joys and anxiety.
Right into the complex world of adulthood.
Yeah, and rain becomes this potent symbol,
Oh, yeah.
for all the things we can't control in life.
Haven't we all been there?
Oh, tell me about it.
Like rain. Why are you always showing up at the worst possible moment?
Like when you're dressed to the nines for a job interview.
Oh, man, exactly.
Right, you've got your best outfit on, you're feeling good, and then
The skies open up.
you're drenched.
Like a cruel joke.
I know, and our author finds themselves in this exact situation.
Oh, no.
They're sitting there watching the downpour intensify,
Uh-oh.
and they're hoping it'll stop, but deep down,
Yeah.
they know it's not going to happen.
You know that feeling.
Oh, yeah, that feeling of helplessness.
It's like life just loves to throw curveballs when you least expect it.
It's like a reminder that no matter how much we plan,
Right.
things don't always go our way.
It's that classic clash between our desire for things to be perfect
Yes.
and the reality that sometimes things just happen.
And sometimes it's the opposite, too, you know?
Oh, what do you mean?
Like when you want the rain to show up,
Uh-huh.
but it's nowhere to be found.
Okay. I've been there too.
Like when you're trying to escape an awkward social encounter,
Oh, man, that's the worst.
and our author hilariously finds themselves in this situation.
Tell me more.
So picture this. They're at a cafe just trying to enjoy their coffee.
Okay.
And who walks in?
Oh, don't tell me.
But their super successful former classmate.
The one who has it all.
Yeah, the fancy car, the high-paying job, the perfect partner.
And already cringing.
I know, right? We've all been there.
It's that moment when you feel that pang of comparison.
You start questioning your own life choices.
And the author who's still struggling to find a job,
Mm-hmm.
they're acutely aware of this disparity.
Their internal monologue is priceless. They're like, oh, God, why have you abandoned me in this frying pan?
They're basically begging for a sudden downpour.
Right, just so they can make a dramatic escape.
But of course,
The sun is blazing.
it's like the universe is playing a cruel joke.
I know, it's that feeling of being stuck.
Exposed with nowhere to hide.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if the author's using humor to deflect from deeper feelings,
Like, what?
like inadequacy or anxiety about their own path.
So it's not just self-deprecating humor.
Maybe not.
Maybe it's masking deeper insecurity.
It's possible, and it makes you think about how much of our adult humor is rooted in those early experiences, you know, those feelings of not measuring up.
Especially in this age of social media.
Oh, yeah, where everyone's showcasing their highlight reel.
It's easy to feel like you're falling behind.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got our author struggling with job searching and awkward social encounters.
Right. Adulting is not easy.
And then they take us back to the present moment,
Yes.
to a place where rain is a rare and precious occurrence.
They're now living in the Middle East,
Oh, wow.
in a region where rain is more of an event than a daily occurrence.
That's a big change from Kerala.
It is, and when those infrequent showers do arrive, something magical happens.
Okay, tell me more.
It's like the world pauses, you know?
Oh, yeah.
People come together to experience this simple joy, this collective sense of wonder.
Like everyone's united by this shared experience.
Exactly. Kids are playing in the streets.
I love that.
Adults are standing outside just feeling the rain on their skin.
It's like a moment of pure bliss.
And it transcends age, background, social status.
It's a reminder that despite our differences,
Yes.
we're all connected by these universal human experiences.
Exactly. And for the author, this return to a rain-scarce environment
Yeah.
seems to evoke a deeper longing, a nostalgia for those childhood days in Kerala.
So it's more than just missing the rain.
It is.
It's about yearning for that sense of simple joy, that feeling of connection, that freedom from adult responsibilities,
Perhaps it's about recapturing that childlike wonder,
that ability to find magic in the everyday.
something that can easily get lost
Yeah.
in the hustle and bustle of adult life.
It's like we're all searching for those moments that transport us back to that carefree state.
Absolutely.
Okay, so as we move into the final part of our deep dive, I want to circle back to that thought-provoking question you posed earlier.
Oh, yes.
How do our childhood memories, those rainy day experiences, or any significant moments from our past, shape how we approach life today?
It's a question worth pondering, isn't it?
Definitely.
Do those memories make us more resilient, more appreciative of simple pleasures?
Or maybe more cautious in the face of uncertainty. I'm thinking back to my own childhood,
Yeah.
and I realize how much those early experiences shaped my sense of adventure, my love for storytelling, even my coping mechanisms for dealing with stress.
It's like those formative years laid the groundwork for who we are today.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff.
And that's the power of personal narratives, like the one we've explored today. You know,
Right.
They offer a window into someone else's world. But in doing so, they illuminate something within ourselves.
I like that.
They invite us to reflect on our own journeys,
Right.
connect with those universal themes of childhood, family, and that ongoing search for meaning.
This document, xyz.txt, wasn't just about rain in Kerala, was it?
No, it
It
wasn't.
was about the human experience,
Exactly.
about those shared threads that connect us all.
Precisely. And while our deep dive has come to an end,
Yeah.
the exploration doesn't have to stop here, you know? I encourage you to keep digging. Revisit those formative experiences and see what insights you might uncover about yourself.
Who knows what hidden gems are waiting to be discovered
I know, right?
in the depths of our own memories.
Maybe it's time to grab a notebook, brew a cup of tea, and let those memories rain down.
I love that. So we're back, folks, for the final part of our deep dive.
Back into those childhood memories, you know?
Yeah, those rainy days in Kerala, those vivid snapshots of life.
And what's been so striking is how these seemingly ordinary moments, right?
Yeah.
Playing in the rain, that back-to-school anxiety, they reveal so much about family dynamics, cultural nuances, and how our individual perspectives take shape.
It's like these little snippets of childhood hold a key,
Yeah.
to understanding how we approach the world as adults,
Yeah.
how we face challenges, how we find joy.
Absolutely. And even as the author describes those adult challenges, right?
Mhm.
The job searching, the moments of feeling inadequate,
Right.
there's this undercurrent of resilience,
Yeah.
this ability to find humor and beauty in the everyday.
It makes you wonder if it's those early experiences with the unpredictability of rain that fostered that resilience,
That's an interesting thought.
Like if you can handle a monsoon season,
Yeah.
you can handle anything life throws at you.
Right. Maybe those moments of navigating soaked uniforms, delayed plans, unexpected downpours. Maybe they planted the seeds for a certain kind of adaptability.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to circle back to that thought-provoking question you posed earlier.
Okay.
How do our childhood memories,
Mm-hmm.
those rainy day experiences or any significant moments from our past really
Right.
shape how we approach life today?
It's a question we should all ask ourselves, you know?
Yeah, do those memories make us more resilient,
Mm-hmm.
more appreciative of the simple things, or maybe more cautious
Right.
in the face of uncertainty?
It's fascinating to think about, isn't it?
When I think back to my own childhood,
Mm-hmm.
I realize how much those early experiences shaped my sense of adventure, my love for storytelling, even my coping mechanisms for stress.
It's like those formative years laid the groundwork for who we are today.
It's like we're all a product of our past in a way.
Absolutely. And that's the power of personal narratives like the one we've explored today.
Right.
They offer us a glimpse into someone else's world. But
Yeah.
in doing so, they illuminate something within ourselves.
They make us think about our own journeys.
Exactly. And they connect us to those universal themes of childhood, family, and that ongoing search for meaning.
xyz.txt wasn't just about rain in Kerala, was it?
No, it was about so much
It
more.
was about the human experience.
Yes.
About those shared threads that connect us all.
And while our deep dive has come to an end,
Right.
the exploration doesn't have to stop here.
Yeah. What do you suggest folks do?
Keep digging, revisit those formative experiences and see what insights you might uncover about yourself.
That's great advice. I love that.
Who knows what hidden gems are waiting to be discovered in the depths of our own memories.
Maybe it's time to grab a notebook, brew a cup of tea, and let those memories rain down.
I like that.
Well said. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure exploring these memories with you.
Until next time.
Take care, everyone.